All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Agile Network India for organizing such a wonderful session on personal agility during this pandemic. I think this is the much needed session that we should have during this, the chaos that we see across our society. And we all know how the COVID-19 has impacted our lives. And in fact, it is global. But as my topic today goes, let's find opportunity in this pandemic. This is because every innovative, all innovative, great ideas got generated during the chaos, during the challenging times, and this is written in the book of history. And so I'll talk about what opportunities we can make out of this present challenging and uncertain situations. Okay, so I'll keep my presentation short so that we can actually have more of a Q&A, and that's the reason I'll quickly go over to my second slide. Okay, so if we try to think what has literally changed, right? What has literally changed since the beginning of COVID-19? And I have tried to pull them together in few of the bullet points, and there may be many, many more, right? So if I talk about the lifestyle, the social life that we have, it's completely, it has completely changed. We seriously don't see the lifestyle we had 6 months back. We don't have it today. We are actually trying to embrace the chaos. We are trying to find a new way of living in this chaos, right? And that's the ability, that's the agility and the flexibility that we have already got into ourselves, and that's where we are doing much better than the pandemics that actually hit our globe in 1918 or the earlier ones. Okay, so we have started feeling that we have already overall our social life. We have already started. Oh, okay. Uh, I'm sorry, I was just got distracted. So we have actually started working on a new way of doing business. The business that we had earlier, the business models that we thought of, the conventional models. Today, it's not working. We see the shopping malls are almost vacant. It's only the shopkeepers who are, guarding the items. There's no one, right? People are going mainly on e-shopping, or might be e-commerce sites are getting overloaded nowadays, and even there are expenditure pattern changes, so people are becoming more conservative. If we go just step back 30 or 40 years from now, people used to be conservative. They used to put the wealth together for either hard times or might be the generation next. And we have started also to change our income and expenditure pattern, because we obviously now know maybe a single source of income is not enough. It may not be enough for us, so we are trying to diversify our sources of income, the way of the expenditure, the expense that we used to do lavishly. I think that is also going down a bit, and our regular life is totally stuck, if you see, right? And then, if I talk about the main problem that is coming up amongst people who are unable to embrace the change or really impacted by this change for big time, right? And that is the psychological balance, the psychological pressure that people are getting into. And over here, with all this point, we actually see the opportunities, right? Because we have changed so much, because the world is changing, and we are at the very beginning of the change, the transformation that we see today. We actually have the opportunity, a massive opportunity, that we can actually deep dive into, right? If you see, pharma companies are already looking into this opportunity. Many other organizations which may be unorganized sectors, they are looking at the opportunity. They have grabbed the opportunity of creating or making up more and more of sanitizers, right? So disinfectants and all the stuff. So actually, we have moved away from the comfort zone. We don't have the comfort zone anymore, right? We have to start a new comfort zone. We have to start a new transformed comfort zone, if I so to speak. And travel and recreation, until the vaccine is around, forget about it. So it's obviously very, very risky if we are actually uh, go for a travel or recreate, go for a recreation. I think that's something where we have to literally think twice before doing that. Now, what can we do? Now we have the chaos all around. What is it that we need to do, right? So I don't know if you guys have heard about VUCA, and this was a very, very, this was a very used term in US Army in 1990s until 98, I guess, almost every US Army, and it was actually moved into other countries as well, where people used to talk about the volatility. So if we see today, this market, this globe, our community is completely volatile. We don't know what's happening next, right? We don't even know where the vaccine is. So we have the volatility right now, and volatility can be, pressurizing, something where we need to be really wary about. But volatility also gives you much of opportunities. Now, from this volatility, you actually start looking at the uncertainties, right? What kind of uncertain situations that you can face, and with that situation, how complex it can be, right? It can be of light complexity, or little of complexity, where you can let go of the things and you can actually move on. But if something is very high or critically uncertain, or complexity is too high, we need to actually mend our ways, right? And that is where we come into the ambiguity part. And from there, if you look at how Bill George transformed it in 2016 and 17 for VUCA 2, which is now after Donald Trump took over, that's the person who actually started working on the new VUCA 2. And this is what we have to start looking today, where we are today. And this is, we already have an uncertain time. So, what's the change in vision? We need to look through this chaos for a perfect vision, right? So we have to keep our eyes and ears open so that we actually have the direction of what we are going to do, what is the purpose of our entire segment, right? And then going by it, the understanding how we need to do it, the deep diving, to be very frank, right? And then with this situation, you need to have the courage to travel through, because you never know if your situation is positive or negative. But courage is the one which will take you through. If you break down in between, it's not going to work. You'll have to get the courage, right? We all will make it. That's the positivity that we need today. And then we talk about the adaptability, and people who use Agile, who are very much enthusiastic about Agile, I'm sure you know what is adaptability, the flexibility, how we adapt to the new changes, the new situations, the new world, right? And to be frank, I have actually gone through many, many, many psychological sessions earlier, and we have the new mantra now. And the new mantra is you need to be curious. Whenever you do something, you literally need to deep dive. If you don't deep dive, you're actually missing something big time, right? You need to be curious. You need to be flexible, right? You need to actually bend your ways with the feedback that you get from people. So you need to be flexible. You need to be risk tolerant. Right now, we have everything on major risks, right? We see risk everywhere, whether health, whether wealth, whether our businesses, whether our family, whether risk is everywhere right now with COVID situations, with the way the market is going. Yes, there is risk. How tolerant are you, right? So you need to have the tolerance level set up first. That this is where my tolerance level is set, and then we are going to work beyond that. Okay, and then the major thing is positivity. Try. It's not try, but you'll have to be positive if you have to travel through this kind of situation. If you really want to beat the problem, you have to be positive. And the more you keep away from negative people, the better for you. But if someone is really in need of your time, right, where they actually feel depressed, they feel frustrated, they have negativity, and you should, whether it's your friend or not, even it might be a third person, try to reach out for helping, because this is a time where the help is much needed. No one will come up and tell you, hey, I need this help, that help. But by their body language, by the way they talk, you will of course understand in the back of your mind, boss, this person might need some help. Yeah. Okay. And the second thing is, we have to start learning to mend our ways. If we actually use this new mantra, this will actually help you to mend your ways in the way that the new business is strategizing itself. If you see, whatever the business model used to be earlier, right now the business model is not the same. In last 6 months, we have seen a massive change, a massive transformation, where many of people are actually going for work from home. The back desk job are all moved away from the office, so that the people who actually need to be on the site, they are there safely working, and you are actually working from home. So if you see, the entire business strategy has changed, and this actually brought us into a place where we are revisiting our purpose, we are revisiting our vision. Because what the vision we started with in the last the session of 2020 FY21, right? It it is no more so much valid. We have to change, because the world has changed, the consumption has changed, the consumption pattern. Suppose whoever used to buy a bulk may have cut short of it, because even the businesses are going conservative in their spending pattern. So we have to mend our ways with the business strategies. We have to upskill ourselves to make sure that the tools that the businesses are taking up, right, we learn about them. So it's again the learn, unlearn, and learn pattern. So if the businesses have to retool themselves. Why? Because right now they have the cyber security threat. More of the people are working in even the banking professionals, the people who are supporting the banking. I'm taking the banking as an example, because you have the most sensitive personal information in the banking sector. And if you have seen, few of the banking sector IT support people are not even allowed to use a smartphone into the ODC or GDCs. So basically, we have to make sure that when and how the retool approach we can take the opportunity of, right? And then, of course, we see the next thing is the transformation. I see the question and answers coming in. I'll make sure that I answer each of them at the end of my session. I would not take more than 10 minutes from now. So, the transformation to the new normal, right? We are transforming to a new normal. The world will not be the same as it was earlier. So we are actually going to transform because wherever we have moved on, we never stepped back. So, right now we are nuclear, we never thought of moving back to conventional. So that's how the world goes, right? And if you see this entire challenges, whatever I have spoke until now, has opened up a huge amount of opportunities in front of us. It's not only us, but the society at large, from the complete unorganized sector, the slums to the biggest conglomerate, right? Okay. Now you may talk about the opportunities one by one, but I would say this is the need of the art that we, from the people who are managing teams, or we are coaching agility, we are coaching flexibility. We need to actually try and make sure we put this word across, and that's the reason I have put this need of the art, right? And if the first thing that you need, the main and most important is the psychological strength. So we need to be psychological stronger. Okay. So I just spoke about curiosity, flexibility, adaptability, risk tolerance, and positivity, right? But beyond that, I have also spoke about a few things which are like helping other people, right? It may be both sides. It is sometimes that we don't feel frustrated or depressed. We do, right? And that's the reason we go for some consultation with our best friends who actually know us real time, right? So if we talk to them, we actually pull out the entire whatever negative senses that we have and transform them into positive and opportunities. And same thing, you should also do it for others. It's not just it's me. It should be we as a community, well, anyone, because it's a game that we have to win everyone together. It's nothing that you can win alone, right? So the more you connect with people, more you connect with them virtually, talk to them, you will feel and understand where they stand, and if they would need some help from you to move on to their lives. And the last part is the collaboration. The collaboration is, as I said, this is a we effort. It's a team effort. We alone, I alone cannot win this. Is just the we that we can work together with my team members in office, with my family at home, with my community at large, distributing foods and the rations across the poor people. So it is something we need to have it together. So this all together makes us psychologically stronger, and let's make sure that we do it and we spread this psychological strength with all the people we have across. The next is about health, right? We know from our childhood days, right? Health is wealth. I think this is the best time we all understand how important the health is to us, right? The survival is so important for us. And for the survival, we have to make sure we are immune to the disease, we are immune to the system where we are. Okay? So for immunity, I know many of people, they speak about regular exercises. They pass their psychological test and everything with answering, you should have a regular exercise, but they never do it. Even I didn't do it. I used to be only 2 or 3 days hitting the gym, where my trainer used to tell me, "Boss, you should at least come for 5 days." Yeah. So you need to start back, and this is, opportunity for you to have a healthy life. You need to get back to the health, and health is wealth kind of thing, where we used to, earlier people used to make sure they do whatever. They used to have the proper exercise, the hygienic food. They never used to have the food from various restaurants and Swiggy and Zomato on a regular basis. I know we have changed our lifestyle. We have a very, we have a very compact schedule for the complete day, but we need to make sure that we are taking care of our health as well, with the food, with the exercise, and then the most important thing is the, sleeping, a sound sleep. I literally, sometimes during my sessions at various places, people come up and say, I think I'm good with 3 to 4 hours of sleep, because I work for almost 18 hours. I said, man, what are you doing to yourself? Are you serious? Do you even know a job? You run the family with a job, but the moment you're out with not sleeping properly, with health issues, w- the job will replace you with someone else. What will the family do? Right? So just think about it. You are working to make sure you run the family, but it doesn't mean that you'll have to give your health, wealth, family life, and everything for it. You need to have a sound sleep. People actually take many of problems that they have in office or businesses or even in personal life, and they sleep with it, which is very, very dangerous. Let's come out of it. When you go to bed, let's make sure we are in that comfort zone where there is nothing but me and myself, and I don't have anything. It's like I'm out of this world completely, right? Let's give some rest to the mind and soul when we sleep, right? Most importantly, now you need to keep your stats under control. Many people are going obese, sitting back in at their home, working from home. Mainly people who are in IT, they're not going to office anytime soon. So make sure your stats are really under control. The reason is, the more you lose the walking, running, and your regular exercises, your stats actually would start showing abnormality, which is like, whether your heart rate, whether your blood pressure, your diabetes, your thyroid, your what cholesterol, triglyceride. These are very important, because if you want to be healthy, you need to make sure you are keeping everything under control, and reduce the unnecessary habits. People say, well, we have to go out. I sometimes accompany them outside, and they say, it's so much pressure, Sujoy, we can't really go without it. I said, really? As if you're, the private advisor to Mr. Trump. I don't know. So uh, it doesn't give you an excuse for any kind of, unnecessary habits that you have, whether smoking or alcohols or anything. It's good to have a good amount. That's only alcohol, but I don't think that's really important, right? So the last point I would say about your health is, have some time for yourself in a day. A little bit of time, might be 5 minutes, but that will actually help you to reflect yourself, as if you're looking at your mirror, and talk to yourself. What have I done? Put more positivity into yourself, that, okay, today I have done good. Okay, pat on your back, and tomorrow I'll do better. And that will make you a better person tomorrow. And try to do it and see the difference. I have done it myself. Okay. The next thing is, this has given, this entire chaos, whatever we have around, has given us a very good sense of family time, right? We have seen that in this entire globe, if anyone is there to support me as an individual is my family. And it can be your parents, it can be your wife, it can be your children, it can be the family you stay around with. And that is the biggest asset that any one of you can have, right? So if you want to talk about the family time, you should always make sure that you are making every minute cherishable and every minute accountable, you know. So you need to give the full on into your family, so that people, you make everyone comfortable wherever they are. They can speak to you openly, they can speak to you if they are depressed or frustrated, whether with the circumstances that we have, even if they're frustrated with you. Let them talk about it, because if you try to press your frustration onto them, they might feel, okay, this guy is already frustrated. Why do I overburden with them? Keep your mind and communication channels open, so that they can actually step into you and tell, hey, this is what's happening, so that they can spew out whatever they have inside, so that once they spew out, it's all done. It's so easy, but it is complicated, right? So make sure that you are giving them the space actually to talk, the actually to express themselves. I can tell you one of the examples. I was actually that day, it was a very terrific day for us. The deployment actually went in a completely other side. We had to go for a rollback and all those stuff. And when I came back from office, and I was actually so depressed that I actually spoke to my little kid, and she is just 4.5 years. Okay, I told her, it doesn't matter what's the age differences. I told her, Papa, this is happening so unwell. I thought it's so fantastic day to be started, but this actually ended up this way. You know what she said, and I'll tell you how the family can actually support you even at your work. She said, "Don't worry, Papa. I know you can do it better tomorrow. Okay, and I want to see a smile. We are going fishing this Saturday, whatever happens." So she actually brought back that positivity. I said, really, I can do it better tomorrow. So I can learn from my mistakes and start working on a new plan, so that I can succeed tomorrow. And she also has a plan for herself that Saturday we are going for fishing. And this already happened, right? So this is how, how fantastic the family can support you. A little 4.5 kid can also have a huge support for yourself. So don't think that people won't understand your work pressure, because your expression at home, bringing the work pressure at home, actually would make the other people upset as well. So make sure you open up in front of them. Sometimes that will help you. And this is my last slide, which I would like to talk about, and that is exploring yourself, because this is the best opportunity that you have. As I said, for your psychology, for your health, you can actually start a healthy living, right? Third time is you can start a happy family life if you haven't started already, right? Well, many of people, like even me, I used to be much more involved in office, spending 12, 13 hours in office, and then, the traffic and everything. When I used to come back, it was already almost night for my kid. She used to go to sleep, and the next day morning, she used to go to the school, and that's the only gap we used to, we could see each other.
Sujay, 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I know. And I'll just end it up in 2 minutes. Yeah. So when I say explore yourself, let's think about how can we connect with our, classmates back in school, back in college, or might be our earlier organizations. We would have made very, very close friendship with them, but we might have lost that thread somewhere. So can we get back and we'll start connecting with them? It will give an immense pleasure. You can start talking to your extended families who you thought of meeting in during this pandemic, right? But this pandemic didn't allow you to do that. Go back to them and talk to them on video chat. They shouldn't think that because of this pandemic they're left alone. Let them think that you're still there, you're missing them, right? On the other side, start with the new hobbies. Your hobby can be a technology as well. Like for me, I keep on learning technology, doing some certifications, doing some management certifications as well, so that you keep up with your you know keep up with your own wishes, and you can actually add more to it. You can add a few more hobbies. I started working as a chef at my home. I always thought of doing something different, and I did it different. And the most important thing for each one of us, every individual, is upskilling ourselves, being a future ready. Okay, we need to make sure that we are learning. Every day should be a learning. If you are planning to be an entrepreneur, this is the best time that you have to ideate about something and plan for it, because you will never have a better time than this to start something, right? So, and again, I'll end this up. Please do help others. People around you needs help, right? Whether it's you can start small, you can start big, you can start anyway, but start helping. With that, I'll come to a conclusion that I am doing all of this. Whatever I have said until now, I have started doing all of this. And now I'll leave it open for all the question and answers. Rohit, are you going to help me with that?
Uh, I think we have not received anything, but I have one question to you. So, when we really look at this as challenges, so how do you think we, as from a mental balance point of view, we should really look at it? Say it could be an agile, say combination of agile, non-agile perspective.
Okay, so when we see from the perspective of agile and non-agile, basically over here you don't have the don't have a single percentage of thing left for non-agile. You'll have to be agile, and that's where the flexibility and adaptability comes into picture. We are transforming, right? We are transforming from where we used to be and where we are today. Okay, I'm trying to give you the best of the emotional changes, the physical changes, the workway changes, right? The change word is very important over here, and this change is not something that we appreciated when it was non-agile. If we go back in the traditional models, we always had a plan. We are going to do this, and then next, the specification requirements, design, coding, testing, deployment, support, and all these things. But today we are changing. Every other day is a new change for us, right?
Right.
So if you'll have to have agility in yourself. Without agility, you're going nowhere.
All right. So we have a quick question. If you can just add one point to that, what are the best ways of reframing the purpose without affecting the original vision from Nupur Patak? You can
Okay.
just add one point to that because we are just running short of time. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I really talk about, one word which, so is just revisiting with a transformation mindset, right? You have the purpose, you have the vision, right? Your vision is to reach out to that purpose, okay? But the way you're going to execute it might have changed today. So you have to revisit and reframe how you want to wire things together to reach out to that vision, right? So you need to revisit your execution plan with a new transformation theory in it. Okay, and this is not only going to be you as an individual or as an entrepreneur or CXO yourself. It has to be from the ground level. The transformation starts from the ground level until the top.
All right. Thank you, Sujoy. It was a great, insightful session. So, yeah, if you could just release the presentation button for me. Yep.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, everybody.